Hello and welcome. Don and I are in Bay City, Michigan, what almost seems like a ghost town right now. Y'all, we're trying to get creeped out. I guess there's tunnels beneath us, which I haven't reached out to those people yet. I think she's going to try to sell us a condo.
In the basement.
Yeah. And the Hell's Half Mile is located in Bay City, Michigan.
Where's that at again? Where
It's the water. The water.
that we went to earlier today?
Yeah, that's.
Oh,
half
that's the
mile.
half mile.
Yeah, as far as I know, or at least no. Hell's Half Mile is located in this area where they were able to build these tunnels, and they were able to, during Depression times, move alcohol, women, basically traffic. Well, it wasn't technically trafficking because it was all in the same town, but hide people, move booze, drugs. So this whole area was debaucherous because the timber trade or industry was here, and a bunch of guys that have a ton of money that have to live here pretty much for certain amount of months at a time. They have nothing better to do than spend it on booze, women, and I don't know, drugs, but there weren't really many.
So they would have like
drugs.
the work life here and then a separate family here too, because they're having a lot of babies out of wedlock. They don't give a fuck about condoms.
This is God's country, Don.
Oh,
This is God's country.
well, they will repent on Sundays at the local church, which by the way I didn't see a lot of churches here.
There is one. There's one actually down the street from us. You could see it, the clock tower, I think that, or maybe that's just a municipal building. Yeah,
They don't have like a towny church or anything.
Maybe it's because there is a small underlying contingency of Satanists in this town, and that's why we came here. We were led here for some reason.
No, we were drawn here.
Yeah. I also asked my now fiance to get married here. I don't know why. Something draws me to the city, even though it's boring
You're saying
as shit.
Satan told you to marry this lady? Is that what?
No, I think
Oh.
maybe she might be a part of the
Illuminati?
yeah, the Illuminati.
Okay.
And that's why, they're constantly keeping me down and keeping me uncreative and unable to want to, be a influence. I don't know, man. I can't. Influencing to me sounds like hell, right?
So we're in hell now?
We're not influencers, though. We're just two guys that set up podcast equipment in an Airbnb because we wanted to talk about child killers.
Who is the guy or person or gal or whatever they're calling themselves now that coined the phrase influencer? Like, how did that come to be? I hate that.
It's probably a news station. It's like these kids that are doing their TikToks are influencing other kids and influencer.
I don't like that.
You don't like that? Or
Because you're always in some small way influencing people throughout your whole life, but now it's like a job occupation. Like, I don't want to influence people for a living.
yeah, no, fuck that. Okay, so child murders.
Yeah.
Let's
Great
influence
segue.
So Don and I were talking last night in regards to movie functionality. Like, would be a perfect place to shoot a film. You walk outside at 11 o'clock. We had one of the waitresses show us where this other bar was, and we honestly thought that maybe she was going to try to kill us. Just the feel of it.
And one took us down a dark alley.
Yeah. And it was kind of like this area is a lot creepier than I thought, and maybe that's why I was drawn to it, was because the streets are just empty. There's no one hanging out around here, and this is what they call the cheaper version. So there's another city on the opposite side of the state called Traverse City. Opposite side, also diagonal from us. I guess that would be northwest from us. This is what I was told is like, if you don't feel like spending a lot of money but still want to do the Traverse City thing, this is the one that you go to, Bay City. And honestly, there is nothing here. And it is perfect to, record, possibly make a small short film. So we were looking into, or Don and I was explaining to him at dinner last night while there's a bunch of other people around us, the Oakland Child County Killer, who was present, I believe it was 76 and 77. It started with the killing of Mark Stebbins. Well, some might say that it started earlier than that, but the killing of Mark Stebbins, and then Jill Robinson, and
wasn't it a Stevie in there somewhere? I feel like it was a Stevie.
I think you're right.
Stevie Wonder. Or
no, that would
Stevie J.
Stevie J. Steve Kwan.
Steve Martin.
Let me see here.
Steve Yzerman.
Yeah, so this is just kind of what we're recording here is just to kind of get us back into the realm of this shit again. Christine Michalik, I believe is her name. Mark Stebbins, Christine Michalik, and Timothy King. So Jill Robinson, Mark Stebbins, Jill Robinson, Katie McKellick, and Timothy King were the 4 kids that were killed or a part of the what Oakland County dubbed the snow killings. So as I was talking to Don about this, that it all kind of started with the Michigan pedophile ring that was going on in the 60s and 70s was massive, and the capital of this pedophile ring was in Cass Corridor back then. And there is a book that just recently came out, which I'm going to give it a read, in regards to what was going on in the Cass, the selling of children, the selling of child pornography. One of the hubs, and I'm sure they don't want me to say this,
say it,
the Schwitz in Detroit, which is now like a hipster hangout. Like all hipster white women go there to get their steam on. And
I wouldn't need that address.
Yeah. But it used to be like, at first it was a spot for, gay men to hang out. But then there was also children being brought to this place, and were more or less, they'd go in the steam room and hands would get busy.
Gross.
So it was happening out of the Cass and spread out. I believe it was a priest that was in Port Huron was arrested because he had sexually assaulted a child. And then this ring actually was, I don't know if they're still around. They probably are in some way, shape, or form, but it was more or less broken up once they caught the priest out of Port Huron, and I cannot remember his name, so I got to get names down. They found out about this young bachelor, and if I can get his name out of this book real quick.
So I'm thinking, like, people caught wind of this because of whistleblowers, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Crazy Eye Bill. What was his name?
I can't remember. Bob Moore.
Bob.
Bob Moore owned a bike shop in the Cass Corridor, and if you look at his mugshot, ooh.
Like, if you made a movie and had, like, casted a guy who looked like him to play him, it would be like,
yeah, he's definitely a pedophile.
Yeah, or Hollywood was like, no, that's too over the top. Like, this guy looks too obvious a villain.
But yeah, he was one of the prominent figures in the child prostitution, right? Because it was not just pornography; they were prostituting kids out of there. And if you ever read the book "The Snow Killings" by Marnie Rich Keenan, she actually shows the map, or someone drew up a flow chart. The pedophilia arrest in 1976 in the Cass Corridor illustrates the national network and operations of it. And see, it's not just here. We were talking about a possible movie concept, and I think the concept that you and I talked about was melding two different cases: the snow killings, so the Oakland Child County Killer, and the Franklin cover-up. And if you are familiar with the Franklin cover-up, it kind of involves Satanism and pedophilia within the highest levels of government. Frank DeCamp wrote the book based off of multiple kids that were prostituted, trafficked throughout Boys Town. I don't know if it was Omaha. I know it was Nebraska. Boys Town is for youths, young men that are on the wrong side of the tracks or something, like kids that were headed down a dark path. Well, guess what? You're heading down even a darker path when you go to Boys Town.
But this is all you're leading up to me, in my head. This is a corporation, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't they do what they did with the mob and other nefarious organizations and also do RICO laws?
Because
In your opinion.
You would, in my opinion, and it is an opinion,
Yeah.
they would be arresting the then Vice President of the United States.
The RICO laws is not only to get them in prison, but to get to the root.
Yeah, but these are the politicians' highest levels as to what this book is stating.
Conspiracy.
Yeah, it goes into conspiracy, but it's like I don't want to go into the Q thing and just start being like, well, Hillary Clinton loves, eating babies.
She's a lizard person.
Yeah, she likes eating babies at the other end, so she sticks them up her ass and then dissolves them.
Allegedly.
But that's not what I like. The QAnon crap that a lot of these guys just. It was a 4chan user that is Q. That's who Q is. It's an Asian guy, or well, he looks Asian, but some dude out of I think it was like Thailand. There's a whole documentary on HBO.
QAnon, does that still exist?
Of course, there's Q guys out there. Well, it's because it's the cult of Trump. It's not just Qers.
Yeah,
they're not just Qers
Trump
anymore. They just like it's Trump before country, which is ridiculous. Like no person should come before
Fucking
the United
traitors.
States. Yeah. All of them.
All of them.
Anyways, these fucking pedophiles.
Gross.
Well, the other thing too is if you look at it, Epstein, it's the same play as to what this guy was doing. Francis Shelden was the playboy philanthropist. The guy that had all the money out of Grosse Pointe. He bought an island called North Fox Island. He would have youths, inner city youths. Well, you know what, Don?
It was disguised as that.
Yeah, it was. But the creme, this is what the documentary that I had you watch, one of the things that they said was the creme de la creme were the white kids. So I'm sorry, man.
Oh, don't be.
But that was like, it was more prevalent in Detroit. This is what's messed up. This is how our justice system works. Black kids were going missing and they did nothing.
I was going to say that. I think if they would have stuck to minorities or been more inclusive,
if you look at
this would have went on way longer.
I can bet 100, probably almost 150% that if you go back to the records of missing kids throughout, Midtown, and this is Detroit that we're talking, Midtown, Corktown, Cass Corridor, like all that area, you would probably see an uptick in a lot of disappearances.
Yeah. I don't doubt it.
But there's also people that weren't claiming kids. They were just kind of taking them from room to room and whatnot. And this had been going on for a long time. Well, Francis Shelden was, so this priest, I got off topic, but the priest that was caught in Port Huron named Francis Shelden as the ringleader for at least the Michigan pedophile ring. And this guy would do videos, he would do photos, and he would, mail them out and send them out. Now you go on the dark web and you can download shit like this. And
like the actual videos they took?
Not back then, but like videos that they're doing. This is still a thing. There's still people doing this shit because in certain countries, it's not illegal. Francis Shelden knew that the law was coming after him because they talked about what was going on at North Fox Island with the pedophilia camp. And Don, you said yesterday when you were watching the video, you see these kids playing and then all of a sudden it starts going back. Like it's just it starts going into a wider shot and you just see men.
Like piranhas.
Yeah, just looking at all of them like it's no women around, just dudes staring very aggressively at kids.
Yeah, that's the image I got when they mentioned the island, mentioned that, a boys' camp, just all men and young boys. And I can just imagine this Disney-like type of, atmosphere where all these kids are just playing around and they don't have their shirts on. They're wearing their shorts. They're just having fun together. And then all of a sudden you just hear the snapping pictures of a camera, off camera, if this is a movie.
It's the sound, what is it, the commercial for Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
The old Polaroid sound. Yes. Yes.
And yeah, no, it's terrifying. When you
if we were to make a movie, you would just close up of kids smiling, different kids, different kinds of kids from the suburbs, and you think this is a heartwarming movie, then you pan out slowly, and then you hear the steady snapping of the Polaroid, like you said, and then all of a sudden you see one guy come up, maybe smoking a cigarette, talking to what you think is his, another dad, and they're so proud. They're looking so proud. And then all of a sudden you just see more men join them, and then more men, and then more men, until it's like, wow, it's just nothing but men.
Yeah, and then one of them's like, hey, you ever wonder what a hairy chest looks like?
Or say, hey, why don't you take your shirt off? It's kind of hot out here, buddy. Go ahead, take your shirt off. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's fuck.
That could be the first scene of that movie where it's like something that's supposed to be so innocent.
But you said something
is destroyed.
There was something that you said yesterday as like the first scene where we start.
The airplane.
Was it the airplane? The
where
airplane exploded. Okay, so this deals more with the Franklin cover-up, the detective that was hired by Johnny Gosh's mother, I believe, or if it was Frank DeCamp that hired him. Jesus, I cannot remember his name. His name started with an M.
Michael Myers.
No. He would be killing them.
Michael Jordan.
No, he would be gambling. Doesn't he have a gambling problem?
Allegedly. He only gambles with...
his dad. Yeah, he only gambles with his father's life. Oh, shit. Okay.
I started rewatching those Unsolved Mystery episodes. I was like, man, I really dig those.
They're good. I did like the one that you were talking about. Like, I think, the guy hanging out with the ghost lady.
Oh, Becky.
Is it Becky?
Becky.
It's not supposed to be like a California.
His name was Don. And yeah, his ghost spirit guide, they say he's possessed, was named Becky. And he would like hold up the 2 sound recorders, which was kind of weird. Why would he need 2?
The guy that was holding those.
Oh, yeah, Don.
They weren't like recorders. It was, so what those do, they kind of measure energy a little bit. So if there's like a big, strong magnetic field, they'll move.
No, not that guy.
He was able to move energy around, and he's like flop, flip, flip, flip.
He was like, they're in glass metal tubes, so I can't like turn those iron rods myself. They have to be moved by energy.
But I was looking at it, and he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah,
I know he wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been a big fan in there, I guess, and we wouldn't know.
Yeah.
We didn't hear the sound, but I don't believe that. I'm talking about the guy who's actually possessed, Don, with Becky.
Yeah.
He held up those 2 sound recorders, didn't he? What were those?
2 sound recorders?
Yeah. So one or both was to pick up, like, I guess he'll ask a question and Becky will say something in a frequency only, I guess, Don can hear.
Mm-hmm.
But for the sake of proof that he can hear the sound, he has those recorders to pick it up. He records it and plays it back for the people so they can hear what she said.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I thought. But why does he need 2? That wasn't explained to me.
In case he's recording the one recorder, he's just recording the noises that the recorder is making. That was supposed to be a joke, don't you say?
But didn't they speculate like it could have been pre-recorded?
Yeah, probably.
But he said he took him to places where he didn't know where he was going at first.
Yeah, this guy wanted to make sure 100% that this was on the up and up, that it was real. Because I would have done the same thing. People are so quick to believe, what they see, that they sometimes, or they want to believe so much that they'll believe whatever. Like,
he didn't seem like a believer though.
The guy that recorded?
Yeah, he seemed like a skeptic. He
was. That's why I liked it so much.
Yeah, me too.
Because he was just like, he was putting them through the ringer, and that's what you need to do. Like, you can't just sit around and be like, you see a wall that has like a busted pipe and it's the image of Guadalupe. Like, no, you got to take a look, and it's like, oh, okay, well, there's indentations in the wall. Like, you got to do your due diligence with any of this shit. That was probably one of the best unsolved mysteries, which is it really truly a mystery?
Sure it is, on several levels. And main one is proving that there's an afterlife. According to them, like, yeah, the guy who was recording him, that's what hit him in, like, his consciousness. It's not only that this guy might be communicating with somebody who's passed on, but that also means there's an afterlife.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I just realized something. Because we're on Hell's Half Mile. There's got to be fucking ghosts around here, right?
Yeah, I know. That's what I've been
Okay, well, let's all
kind of
hold on,
saying.
hold on. If there are
Dead
any,
hookers.
If there are any dead hookers in this house, come and touch my penis.
Hold on, we got to hold the recorders up. And then when we play it back, it's like,
Here. Yeah, well, no, let's, okay.
25 cents.
25 cents for a HJ, 20 cents for a QJ, 20 cents for a ZJ. What's a ZJ?
You think they're
The
still
fuck a
adding on, and they're still going on like those prices from back then, or have they added, like, caught up to
You're
inflation?
talking about inflation?
Yeah.
Nah, I doubt it. I don't think they know what that word means. I
You
think
think-
20 cents is still reasonable for a ZJ.
Oh, count me in.
I don't know what a ZJ is.
ZJ.
Okay, well, we're in, technically, this was possibly a hotel, maybe an apartment complex, but still on the Hell's Half Mile. Like, supposedly there's tunnels underneath us. I would be interested to see.
We're going to Mulligan's tonight. I'm wanted, or wherever, whoever. I don't give a shit. And I want to, like, go down those fucking tunnels so I can be sacrificed, and then I can come back and haunt people. Like, ooh, racist.
Yeah, like woke ideology.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yes.
man, this guy just recently died. Yes, about 2 months ago.
Shame on you.
Yeah, fuck Trump. Yeah. You know, my mom, she's got the touch. Like, she can feel, or at least what she
Like,
says. I don't know.
Spectrum? What do you mean?
She's not on the spectrum. That she can feel spirits, and she has premonitions, and she does all this tarot card shit. And at the same time, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, none of, like, me or my brothers got any of this stuff. We're the ones that constantly are believing, but never get to actually, like, I don't know, get to experience it. I've never seen a UFO. I've never seen a ghost. And when I did,
You act
I
like
thought,
but you act like you're in the minority. A lot of people can say
yeah,
that.
but I don't. I want to see this stuff because I can't believe it anymore. I can't believe ghosts are real. I can't believe that aliens are real because I've never seen it for myself.
I don't know about ghosts, but aliens, I'm more prone to believe that than ghosts.
Yeah.
I think there's a spiritual frequency because, like you mentioned almost every time we talk, like, you know, when you pass on, there is a frequency that goes out.
Yeah,
Energy
it's
is
just like
neither destroyed or
created or destroyed.
There you go.
Yeah, when I pass away, it'll just be like.
Well, that's in fact what you do. You do poop yourself, right?
Yeah, but that's gonna be like my frequency. So if you need to get, it's gonna be like one of those squeak farts.
Brown notes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, oh, that's Aaron.
Oh, he's saying hi.
That's a tight butthole you have.
Yep, nothing ever penetrated.
That's good. I heard in prison they look for that sound. Like if you have that type of fart, they know. Oh, that's my girlfriend.
Really? I don't want to ever go to
The
prison.
guy I work with, he used to be a prison guard for many, many years, and that's what he said. I don't know if he was joking or not, but he said, yeah, the fresh meat that would come in through the process, the guys who look for that thing, they want to hear that. If it sounds like, that means, oh, you probably blown out, but that tight butthole, that's mine.
Oh no.
So when you go into prison, Aaron, make sure you're so they know you're somebody else's bitch.
Well, wouldn't you just want to like a?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You blown the fuck out.
Yeah.
Or that could mean you're open for business. It could go either way.
I think if you go in with 2 butterball turkeys on the back end, and I don't have anything, so I think I'd be less. They'd be less apt to, and I'd also make it like really ugly, so I'd like bend my back up like that and just be like,
Come on, daddy. Let's
oh god. But
take me.
oh Jesus
Like, yeah,
Christ.
then they'll be afraid. Like, damn, he wants this too much. I think people in that situation want people like us to like, oh, I don't want to do that shit. But if you're like game with it, like, yeah, come on, this is why I came here. You scared the shit out of him.
I want all the dicks in my ass.
I'm so happy to be here.
God damn.
You think I'm in here with you?
You're
in here with me.
No, let me sit on that chair.
Whip it out.
The opposite side. Well, okay, so Bay City, pedophile rings, creepiness.
Back to the happiness.
So, you know what? I want to look something up.
Do it.
So there is a Masonic Temple.
You want to
A
go?
historic Masonic Temple. This month's Midnight Monster movie.
Aren't you part
is
of
John
the
Carpenter's
Illuminati?
classic They Live. Am I a part of the Illuminati? No, I
thought you were a Mason.
I'm not a Mason.
Oh.
I was an elk and I did not re-up.
Oh.
So I do not. It is not worth it.
No more Shivas or
Those
whatever you called
guys.
it.
So if you ever are in Ferndale, I honestly don't care because you know what? They do have some sway in Ferndale.
The Elks?
The Elks, yeah, because of how popular they are there. But the thing is that you have to be a part of that inner circle, and if you're not, you really can't do anything. Like, we could go to the bar. We had a guy that was propositioning us for hand jobs, which is like, when I said something about it too, I wasn't believed by a couple people where I'm like, yeah, that's why I don't want to go up there. Every time I've gone up there, it's been, one time we went up there was fun. And then
How much would you have charged?
for what, to give a guy a hand job? It's got to be $200.
I thought he was propositioning us for him to give us a hand job.
Yeah, he wanted to give us hand jobs.
But we would have had him, or you would have had him pay for receiving one, right? Like he would have had to pay you for that.
To give me a hand job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much would you have
$200.
charged? That's a bit steep.
I don't care. It's inflation. Times are tough.
Skin inflation.
Yeah.
I like that. 200. I don't know. Since I'm like a minority, I'm a little bit more exotic. So I probably would have added another 50, like 250.
250.
250 for the black stallion.